Welcome back to Briggs on Books, our truly international talk show with authors and publishers and editors and anything and everything you need to get your book published. We like to talk to people because most of our viewers, they don't have their book published yet and they're trying to get across the finish line. So I love to bring experts on the show who have actually done it. We've had our guest today from United Kingdom. Our next guest comes, I think, from Canada via Finland. Am I close, Pirkko? Say your last name for us, Pirkko.
Yes.
Pirkko Rytkonen.
Yes.
And you have a couple of books out. Now, where are you right now?
I am in Toronto, Canada.
Okay. And is the winter season over?
We have a beautiful day today. Yeah. Yes, no snow. We haven't had snow hardly any at all.
Yeah. Now, you've had a couple of books out, I know. I think your first one was The Other Child?
Yes, that was my first one.
Tell us a little bit about that one.
Okay, that's my first one. It is my novel, and it was my experience of writing for the first time. That was in 2017. I self-published that book, and it's about a young girl who comes from Sweden, comes to Canada, southwestern Ontario, to work as a nanny for a large corporation here in Canada, and she finds herself in some trouble, and she leaves the farm, or it's a big farm, and she leaves the farm. And after 20 years, we find out that she had a baby and she had given up her baby for adoption. And 20 years later, this son comes into her life. And that's where all the complications start.
Wow. That's an exciting book. And that was your first one.
That was my first one, yes. It was after I retired. I started thinking about, I just had these ideas in my head, and somehow these ideas just came, and I wrote this idea down as an outline on paper, and then I started thinking, well, I could write a book, but I had no idea how I was going to do it, so I had to learn how to write a novel.
Now, it's amazing just writing the novel. I mean, it's tough. You got characters, you got plots, you got all this stuff to go through, and you finish writing it, and then what happens? You got a whole nother giant chore of figuring out how to get it published and out there.
Yeah, that's right. So once I actually got it down as a rough draft, then the editing part started. Yeah. I actually did have an editor already lined up, and then I had a development editor who helped me. And I had gone to learn about writing a novel. I had gone to workshops and writers' conferences. I did everything I can to learn on my own. And then I hired a developmental editor who worked with me for the first, well, it took quite a few years. And then after that, I had to get it edited and proofread and all the details of writing that goes along with publishing a book before it could be published.
Now, your second book, which we'll get to in a minute, did that process get easier, the post-writing process, getting into publishing and stuff like that?
Well, the publishing part of it was that, like I had an editor to work with, and she guided me towards how I can actually publish it. Yeah. And I found out that it's free to publish on Amazon. So then I did it like a general contractor. I hired someone to format the book. Yeah. Once I had it edited, and once I had it edited and proofread, it was ready. The manuscript was all ready to go. So then I hired a formatter, and she helped me upload it onto Amazon, and that's how it became a book. All of that because it took me 5 years to produce that book.
Now, I have the cover up there again, The Other Child. Who is this book for? Who will like to read this?
Well, it is a women's fiction genre. It's a women's fiction genre, but it could be anybody, even teenagers. It's easy read, it's clean read, and there's a lot of problems with the relationship of the mother and the son, and her own family once she had you know, married and had another child. So that's why it's called Other Child, because the other child was the secret child nobody knew about. And that child came into her life as an adult. So it could be for teenagers, it could be for women. My husband loved it anyway.
Yeah, I think I liked it. I actually know this story. I've known a few people that actually had this story. So
Yeah, I'm sure there are that kind of story happens, and it's like real life. It happens.
yes, it does. Now, here's the cover of your next book. This is nonfiction.
Yes, it's a memoir. It
Okay.
is a memoir, and I want to just say about memoirs, it's not an autobiography. It's not an autobiography because autobiographies are pretty much your whole life story. You know, and a lot of people that are famous and celebrities and people well known write autobiographies all the time. But someone who's unknown, just you know, just common normal people, we write memoirs. So I don't want to write the whole story because you know I've lived a long time already, so it would be really really long to write the whole story. But it's a memoir about our relationship when I was a young girl, teenager. I immigrated from Finland with my family, and then I lived in Canada. I went to school in Canada and educated here. But then when I was a teenager, someone gave me an address. She said, "Can you write to this guy? He's in college in Finland. Can you write to him? He wants to learn English." So she gave me an address, and me being I was writing to my girlfriend in Finland already. So I thought, well, that's good. I can have some more letters come. So I wrote to him, and that's how we started our pen pal relationship. So it's a story of our pen pal relationship. So it's, you know, in a few years only, you know.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I think that I want to read. I want to read both of your books.
I want to tell you just how that I didn't know how I'm going to write this book, but then it was during COVID. This one was much easier to write. During COVID, you know, we were all stuck at home. We couldn't go anywhere. We had moved from northwestern Ontario to southern Ontario, and we had moved like 1,000 miles away. And I had lived there all my life, pretty much 40 years, and then we moved here. I didn't really know anybody, so we were bored. And so I started reading my old letters, and I found them. And I thought, well, what am I going to do with these old letters? And it was our love story. It was romantic letters, and it was just writing between two pen pals at first for the first 2 years. And we were just writing as friends, and then developed into a little bit more closer soulmate type of relationship. But we kept writing, and I was trying to teach English and so forth. But yeah, so that's what happened. And then I got a mentor. I thought I'd get a mentor who would help me. I said, well, what do I do with these letters? Can I write a book about this? And she said, sure. So then I went and organized them chronologically, and then just being a little bit of a geek, I wrote a spreadsheet. I made a spreadsheet. Yep. Of the letters chronologically, by date, by topic, by where each person was located when they wrote the letter, because we had moved around a lot. Yeah. And so my pen pal was in college studying to be a pastor. So in the summer, he traveled a lot. So I made this spreadsheet, and I thought, oh, okay, now I got it all in order, so I can write it.
Amazing you say that, because that's how I write, with spreadsheets, to keep everything in order. But I found fascinating, the last couple of books I read, people had this great source, in their memoirs, they had the source material. Either they had written a journal or they had exchanged a bunch of letters, and they talk about how they went back and looked at the letters and re-reviewed them and crafted the memoir out of those. That's fascinating that you did that.
Yeah, and so I do include a few of the letters in there. I mean, there are letters in there, the authentic original letters that are there. So how we started the relationship and how it kept moving along, and then how well, how we got together, and he came to Canada, and we got together.
Nice.
And we've been married now for a long time.
Oh, you married him. I didn't get that part. You married him. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, 50 years. I wrote this, I published it last summer.
What a great ending for your memoir. What a great ending.
That's the end of it. That's the end of the memoir. We got married, and I published it for our 50th wedding anniversary.
Nice. 50th anniversary. Now, let me ask you this, just again about the process. Was the whole publishing process easier with your second book after you had learned a few things?
Yes, so much easier, and of course I had material that I knew what I was writing because it was about me and my life, so it was easier. But I'll tell you, it's written in a novel format, so it reads like a novel,
like
so
a novel.
it's easy to read. Yeah,
people are probably reading and saying, "This sounds like a true story." So
it is a true story.
it is a true story. It sounds like it could be a movie too.
Well, there's a lot of ups and downs in there for sure.
Yeah. What's next, Pirkko? Got something else coming up?
No, but I don't know yet, but who knows? There could be something. But I also have a blog which I write to. I have over 100 blog posts in my blog, and I like to write short stories. So I'm writing little short stories in there, and true events, and some teaching and so forth, as trusting how to trust God in different situations. Nice. So I write little blog posts. So I'm always writing something.
Now, I have your web address on the screen. Can people find out more about your blog and your books and about you by going to that web address?
Yes, they can find out a lot of detail about myself and about the books and some reviews and different things.
Very good. I could talk to you all day, but they're telling me you've gone over time again, Mike, but you're fascinating. I can't wait to get a hold of your books. And
thank you.
I want you to come back and we'll have you back again. How's that?
Okay, how's that? Yeah, all okay,
right.
Great. Thank you.
Pirkko, your name is so beautiful. Can you just say your whole name?
Pirkko Rytkonen.
I'm going to close by saying it's amazing. You moved from Finland to Canada, then ended up marrying somebody from Finland. That's right. A very touching, romantic story. All right, we will be back with more authors right after this. So for our guests, please don't go anywhere. We will be right back.